Welcome to ScratchStart. In this session, we are going to see how we can dynamically filter an array element. This is the same process we used in the to-do element. I am just doing it specifically, that specific operation in a separate video, that's all. So initially I have created this projects array, and this will act as an input variables or elements or an array. So I already created the HTML structure. See, it has the same thing. I have created completed, pending and all. Here I have created different categories, that's all. So we have to create variables using identifiers first. First I have grid, activate by document, get element by ID, and the ID is grid. And then we create the second element called buttons, selecting by document, query selector all, and the query we are selecting is data category. And we have already created the arrays, so we will go right next straight to the logics. Now we have to render this, right? So I'm writing a function called render to render it with a parameter data. Inside the data, I'm clearing the grid element initially. That means I am making the inner HTML element as empty. And then from the data, for each element, write a function called with a parameter item. Inside that function, I am creating a new variable called card, created by document. It will create a new element. That element is division element. That what I am typing here in this section will be printer will get carried away here. Inside this division element with ID, grid and class grid, the thing I am typing here will be generated. And then inside that card, for that card I am giving the class called card. And for that card we need the text content. I am giving the name of the item, so it will be generated. Now we have to transfer, pass that this whole thing to the division element. So we have to append child to this grid. So the grid will use the append child and append the card to the grid. So that's all. Now we are writing for the straight click filter. Now select the buttons variable and using the for each method, I am writing a function with variable button. Select that parameter and give an add event listener. The event is click. Inside the write the function for that clicking operation. Inside that create the new variable called category. This category has the dataset variable, dataset thing. Dataset dot category. With this new category will be created. So what we have to do is there are 3 buttons. When we click all the list array variables should appear, and when we click web, only this first index number 0 and index number 2 should appear, and when we click web design, index number 1 and index number 3 should appear. So we have to filter it. What we have to do is, I am writing the if logic here. If category is all, we have to render the projects array directly. So now we have another option called else we have to create another new variable called filtered, and this filtered has projects, filter from the projects element, project array, and the filter function, and with an parameter item. And what this filter does is, it will cease the operation when the category of item is reach the correct category. Now it will correct if the correct category is appeared, the whole operation will stop. Now this output should get rendered, this filtered output should be rendered. So I am using the render function. I am giving the parameter as filtered. Now everything got filtered, and everything got filtered, and it is given as output. Now this whole output for clicking this button should appear here. Each of this this whole operation will go through each of this array element. That is what will happen. Now we have to inherit this output to this grid. This grid will this render function will automatically inherit the output to the grid. So now we have to render the element. It will easily render it to the screen. Now to render it, we have to render the projects. This is the initial, that means this is the initial thing. The initial UI. So that is all. So now this is the basic HTML I wrote, and when I reload, this all the array elements will appear here. See, everything is appearing here. Now you can see here, if the category is all, it will render the whole array projects array. The category is default all, so it is appearing. And when the item category is equal to the current category, it will get filtered. Now when I click web, this website 1 and website 2 will remain, and this logo design and poster will disappear. See, it is disappear. And when I click design, those two will return, and this website 1 and website 2 will disappear. See, it is changed. And when I click all, everything will be get displayed. So that is how. That is why you use the initial UI. For the initial UI, we use the render the whole projects. So that is how we use it. It will be mostly used in e-commerce website, as of my knowledge, for filtering the products based on the categories. So that is it for today. And if you like if you like this session, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I will meet you guys in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.